Hello. This is the Wednesday night movie club. We would really appreciate it if we could get some sponsors to support so we can support our podcast.
This nice, cool, refreshing beverage is so delicious. This could be your product right here if you sponsor us and help us. Say, please sponsor us.
Please sponsor us.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday night movie club. My name's Vivek. Today we're going to be reviewing Aquaman. My name's Vivek.
I'm Aiden.
I'm Austin.
So the first question is summarizing how we would summarize the main plot of the film. What happened was, Black Mantis is seeking revenge on Aquaman. And since Aquaman can't do it all alone, he's trying to get his brother, who's currently in prison, to help him defeat Black Mantis.
And Black Manta does this with his newfound power from the Dark Trident.
Was this film enjoyable? Why or why not?
I liked it because I like adventure movies and action movies.
Okay. I think the film was enjoyable, but I feel like I would have enjoyed it a bit more if I actually did watch the first movie. But otherwise, it was pretty fun to watch. It had a lot of action and.
I also liked it because it was a good movie that was good, and I liked it very much because of that.
Okay.
What scene stood out to you the most, and what made them stand out to you?
One of the scenes that stood out to me the most was when Aquaman went to go get his brother, because somebody else could have gone to do it, but he was the one to do it, so it still meant he cares about his brother.
A scene that stood out to me was in the end when Black Manta, he was about to die, but he was about to fall to his death, but he still wouldn't want to take Aquaman's hand of help, even though they're enemies. Aquaman was still there to help him, but he just wasn't there to accept it, and would have rather died than receive help from his enemy. So I guess that really stood out to me about how sometimes villains think, I guess.
And why would Aquaman help him?
I think that Aquaman would help him is because at the end, even though he was trying his best to defeat Black Manta, he's still not a villain in the end. He won the fight, and he chose to be the bigger person. So it just shows that how Black Manta would rather have died than take help from Aquaman. Shows that he has a very big ego, I guess. What about what scene stood out to you the most?
A scene that stood out to me was when Aquaman and his brother were fighting these big, ancient robots that were ancient Atlantis technology. How even Aquaman's brother couldn't take one down himself. That shows how strong they are and how powerful the Dark Trident can be.
Do you think the movie was trying to convey any messages to the audience? If so, what do you think the messages were?
I think a message was forgive people. Always forgive people, because Aquaman needed his brother, and he broke him out of jail basically because he needed his help. And even though there's some things that happened straight away that didn't seem very good, Aquaman trusted his brother and trusted him that he could help, and Aquaman's brother actually did help.
Um, I would say just like a message. One of the main messages is like forgiveness, because a lot of forgiveness, like lots of the characters, like showed forgiveness to each other. Like when, like even though they were enemies, Aquaman still went to like take his brother out of prison, even though his brother hated Aquaman. Like in the end, the brother still forgave him in the end and chose to still like care about him. Um, in the end, when and like one of the main people who was like, and one of the main people when he was giving out weapons and he still gave like Aquaman's brother like an actual like gun. At first, he didn't really trust him with the weapon, and Aquaman's brother started to gain more trust, and he started letting him like use weapons. So that also showed like that like lots of the characters were like developing more and like forgiving each other. So I just think forgiveness was a big part in it.
I think so. If life gives you bumps, because one of the bumps was Aquaman, because he had to go with his brother, and he didn't like his brother, nor did his brother like him, but they still had to work together. And so if life gives you bumps, try to work around them or work with them.
Did any major common themes such as sibling rivalry, sacrifice, redemption, forgiveness, etc. appear in this movie? How so? I would okay. I'll go. I would say one of the major common themes was sibling rivalry, because like that was like how the whole thing started, of them like working together to take down Black Manta, because they turned from like sibling rivalry was like kind of how they both started off at the beginning of the movie, and then they built that all up to like winning against Black Manta. So I think that showed a lot.
I think a common theme was redemption, because Aquaman's brother redeemed himself after losing all of the trust in all the people of Atlantis from what he did in the first movie, which I forget what he did because I watched it like 5 years ago.
I think forgiveness, because like at the very end you could see Aquaman puts his hand out to Black Mantis, and so that means he kind of forgave him. He wants him to live. He wants to help him. But Black Mantis, like most villains, doesn't want to take his hand, and then he drops into the abyss.
Were there
Another one was just normal rivalry, because Aquaman and his brother were fighting Black Manta.
Were there any elements in this film that reminded you of any stories or messages from the Bible or religion?
no?
Well, I think it's kind of Cain and Abel, because, yeah, Cain did kill Abel, but it's another piece going back to the sibling rivalry, because Cain was trying to be better than Abel, or something like that, and they were just trying, yeah. Yeah, so if there's any, do you guys think anything relates to do with the environment in this movie?
Yes, because Black Manta was trying to melt all of the glaciers to reveal the lost city.
It was basically poisoning the ocean.
Yeah, so he was basically poisoning the ocean and speeding up climate change a lot and just warming everything on Earth, just so he could get a new army.
What responsibility do you have, or do we have, to look after creation?
I think we just should just follow the basic responsibilities, like because like we can't do that much because everybody needs to take action, but there's small things that we can do, like just like the basic things like not throwing trash on the ground, maybe like not always like going by car everywhere you go. Just like small things like that can make a big difference, and even if we do that, I think if many of us do that, I think it'll make a big difference in like global warming.
Yeah, like don't just have the mindset that I'm one person, I can't do anything, because one person can lead into more people, and that can be the big difference.
I agree.
Why does it matter?
It matters because this is where we live, and we were given this land by God, and He created this for us and created us.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, what would you rate this movie?
I would give this movie a 7 because it was a good movie, and there's lots of good messages in the movie, just overall. So yeah, like 7, 7.5.
Yeah, I'd give the movie about an 8.5 because I love like action and adventure movies.
I would give this movie like a 7.5 because I feel like it was a pretty good movie, and it was really exciting with all the action, but I just didn't enjoy it as much because there were probably some parts that I didn't understand because of me not watching the first movie. So that kind of made it a little more like that kind of made the storyline a bit more like boring, I guess, for me. But I feel like if I did watch the first one, it would have been better. But overall, I still think I would give this a 7.5.
Can you follow the movie without seeing the first one?
Well, I think it's not that hard because there was only like for the first little bit it was hard to understand because I haven't seen the first one. Because some things related back. There were some like flashback scenes, and there was like, yeah, there was a couple of those, but towards the end you could understand it a bit more, piece it together.
And do you think there's gonna be like a third Aquaman movie?
Maybe.
Did we? I'm not sure. Like, they're probably because there was nothing at the end of the movie. They didn't really show anything that could continue off that.
Yeah, but they're probably gonna find something to make a movie about.
Do you guys want to see a third movie if they make one?
Yeah, I think it'd be good. It's just, it might, I don't know, it might be a little different, a little worse than the last. That's kind of what's been happening with movies in general. But I think, yeah, I would probably watch it.
Yeah, I find normally with movies, if they make 1 and 2, their first is normally probably the best. Then second's a little bit worse, but still good. And then third, and like any more, it's just kind of the drop-off point.
I feel like DC in general is like I feel like it's they're making some good movies, but like as they keep on expanding on it, they keep wanting to make more movies on like characters. And I'm not just saying for Aquaman, like any DC movies, as they try to make more, the quality just goes down. Like I was saying, like even like the second one, yes, it like I understood, but like it was still not that like enjoyable as probably like some older DC movies because like they don't have that much to talk about. So it just they lose more lose more storyline ideas, and I feel like as they make more, the quality is just gonna go down. And I feel like that's not only what happened with DC, but that happened with like Marvel movies too.
Yeah, because they tend to, like, some of the actors will run off of contracts and they won't want to re-sign. So that means they'll have to, like, kind of like with Spider-Man, they redid, like, they have 3 different Spider-Mans.
Yeah, I agree. And also after Stan Lee stopped writing all the stories, I guess, then it just kind of started getting worse.
Well, how do you think, so you know how the scientist was taken and used for stuff? How do you think he felt during that?
Well, he kind of did a good deed, you could say, because to release the person who uses the Dark Trident, which is the person who uses the Dark Trident, he was locked in this ice cage, basically, for thousands of years, and you needed an Atlantean's blood, like the king of Atlantea's blood, and so Black Manta stole Aquaman's child and tried to use that as a blood sacrifice to release the guy who uses the Dark Trident.
Yeah, and he protected the baby.
By using a bomb.
Did he die? Oh,
The baby?
Yeah.
No, he didn't die.
Yeah, the baby died.
He did.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Yeah. No?
You got more?
Huh?
You have more?
You have more?
No.
No?
Oh.
Alright, that's probably all.
Thank you, everybody, for watching Wednesday Night Movie Club, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
bye.
Bye.